Now, once you place your croquis on your document, we're going to go to the layers panel and we're going to lock the croquis layer. We're going to create a new layer and you're going to double click and name it Pants. Next, you're going to grab the pen tool and start clicking and dragging. If this appears, that means you have to fill the fill to the stroke. With this double arrow, you're able to do so. Now we're going to be drawing and finishing off the shape with the stroke filled in. Once you go back to the original point, you'll just see a circle, and that means it's a complete shape. Now with the white arrow tool, you can drag on the handles that appears, and you can also click on the points, the anchor points. And once you see that circle, you can drag it all the way to the right to create a nice soft curve. Now we're going to go back to the pen tool, and there should be an add anchor tool. You can add an anchor in the middle, and with the white anchor, you're going to drag it down and you can drag up the circle to create a nice soft curve for the hem. Now if you select on the border and then you fill it in with a white, you should have a nice solid shape. You copy and paste it, and then you double click on reflect it vertically, press OK, and with the black arrow tool, move it right into place. Now we're going to create the waistband with the rectangle tool. We're going to add anchors right in the center, 2 anchors, and we're going to move it down with the white arrow tool. Now select on the anchor points, go to properties, and under convert there's a curve. You're going to convert into both of them into curves and pull on the handles. Make sure the handles are straight to keep an even curve. You can even adjust the waistband at the top and in the corners to make sure the fit is just right. Now with the pencil tool, we can create a nice stylized curve. In the properties panel, you're going to go to stroke, and under uniform, you're going to select any curve that you like. Now with the pen tool, we're going to start doing the fly pocket, and you're going to adjust it by pulling on the handles. Once you get a nice curve, we're going to do the fly pocket as well. Now we're going to create a line, and now we're going to do a button with the circle. In order to get a perfect circle, you will just hold shift. Now we're going to create a belt loop, and you're going to move it, tilt it to fill it in. Just click on the lines and click on the fill and fill it in with white. Now you're going to copy and paste an existing line. You're going to go to the stroke under properties, click on dash lines. I already have some existing dash lines, but just to play around with the weight and the stroke of it, just to show you the different properties it can do. So depending on your style, you can choose whatever it is you want. Once I have the right stitch line, I will adjust it with the white, copy and paste it, and adjust it to get that double stitch line. Now with the pen tool, I'm going to draw in. Now that we already have the stroke established, you can draw in those stitch lines. You can also, with the black, copy and paste an existing shape, and with the eyedropper, select the stitch lines to get them in place. Get those closed in shapes, go to the stroke, and select the closed option. Now we're going to draw in the rest of the lines, including the fly. We're going to add a point to adjust that curve. Click, and we're going to copy and paste to create a double line for the buttons. Now we're going to create a buttonhole, add an ellipse, and a play with the dashed lines and the stroke to get a nice buttonhole stitch. Once you get that nice buttonhole stitch, you're going to move it to the back, and you're going to move that to the front. Object arrange to the front to hide the buttonholes. Now we're going to do the grommets. We're going to do 2 circles, one smaller than the other, and we're going to fill them both in with gray. And once you're done, you're going to double click, object group, and then we're going to copy and paste the same shape around the areas where there's grommets needed. And we're going to continue on creating those stitch lines with the pen tool and using the eyedropper tool to select the already existing stitch lines. We're going to create the back And we're gonna do a darker gray with the rectangle tool, object arrange center back, adjust it with the white arrow tool. And to finish it off, we're gonna use the pen tool to create a nice stitch in the back. Now, copy and paste the pant leg, delete the lines you don't need. Use the eyedrop tool to select the stitch line and move those stitch lines into place on the side seam. Close enough. Copy and paste, reflect it vertically, and move that onto the other side. Now we're gonna do the lines at the bottom, the hem. You're gonna use the pen tool, create the stitch lines, copy and paste, and place that in there. Now we're gonna get rid of that fill white and make it non-existent by clicking on the red stripe. We're gonna select all the items, the stitch lines, the pockets, the little fly, and the belt loop, all by holding shift, and the grommets as well. And once you select all these items, you're gonna copy and paste, and we're gonna group them by selecting all of them, object group, and you're gonna reflect it and move it to the other side until it has its right fit. And then we're all set.